Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted, man. What the fuck?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 65 of the Topless Robot podcast. My name is Ryan.
My name's Tyler.
I'm disappointed.
Hello.
And after several false starts, we are resorting to poor quality audio.
I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't start many times.
No,
This is all a lie.
I've had nothing but equipment failure today.
The lo-fi Topless Robot chill hop podcast.
this is a one-take podcast, okay? If not, you'll hear from my agent.
Ryan, if you think there have been more than one start, I think we might be in a time loop.
Oh, God damn it.
Are we in a time loop?
Are we in a time loop?
No.
Well, that settles that then. So the Video Game Awards were this week, the ambiguously named Video Game Awards, done by whomever, whatever the fuck. I mean,
By
it
Video
used to be
Game
on
Company Incorporated.
Is it the same Video Game Awards that used to be on Spike when Spike was a thing?
That I don't know, because I never watched them. I just kind of see what wins.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Oscars.
Yeah.
I don't really.
But I never
watch the
even paid
ceremony.
attention to what won because it never mattered to me because I don't give a fuck what Spike TV thinks about games.
Yeah, well, I didn't start really caring as the last couple of years, just
Only-
because there are games that I like and root.
Well, and now they're starting to use it as an actual legitimate announcement place.
Yeah, lots of trailers the other day.
I think
Last
there
night.
were something like 20 world premieres
something
or
like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Like some weird high amount.
And announcements for things that we didn't know were really coming. Like, I'm kind of excited that Dark Alliance is getting a spiritual successor.
Sure.
Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, even though that trailer was fucking weird. I don't know if anyone saw that trailer.
Yeah, I
it was
saw that.
weird.
I didn't-
It's like your basic fantasy fighters, like all intense cinematic fighting orcs and shit. But it was played to like this weird like metal song that was like an alt metal band. It was really weird. It just did not meet very well.
Okay.
It's Gentleman with the DJ.
Something I didn't expect to see was a sequel to The Forest called Sons of the Forest. The Forest was in early access for like years and only reached a version 1.0 last year, I think, something like that. So to see that Sons of the Forest is now a thing, that the sequel is happening, is kind of surprising. The Forest was a great, like, crafty survival horror with an actual end. Like, there's a goal that you're actually working towards.
Which is
That's
good.
kinda
2-minute
cool.
survival games don't have an end game.
Yeah, it's just
And-
keep going until you die.
And I mean, you can definitely play it that way. But if you want to like get to the end, because ultimately the goal is to find your son. And so you find all these clues by spelunking, through these cave systems. And so you set up a home base and you protect it from cannibals at night. And then you go through the caves and you find all kinds of crazy shit like a katana, a chainsaw, all kinds of just weird, fun shit that completely changes, the way you fight or the way you craft or.
And the plot twist is that your son eloped with some cannibal. You
Your
find
son-
him in his new cave dwelling.
Your son is the cannibal,
Father, I cannot go home.
I mean,
armed with only sock'em boppers.
You don't understand our love.
I think it's probably okay to spoil at this point because it's been out for a long time and but basically once you get one of the first things that you come across in exploring this island that makes you raise an eyebrow is this giant sinkhole. And there's no way to like build your way down to it. There's no way to drop in. There's no safe way to drop into it. But
Only Albertsons, huh?
at the bottom of it is a pool that you swim through to get to a different cave system that's not connected to any of the other cave systems. And as you progress through that, because I mean, like, you're finding people who are on the plane with you, like, hanging upside down, and there's cannibals everywhere. And occasionally you'll just find some weird things, like either be it religious effigies or all kinds of bizarre shit. And then you get down into this final cave, and you come to an industrial door with keycard access.
Cool.
Ooh.
And then it's Doom.
You do not have the yellow key.
You open the door and it becomes a first-person shooter.
But then the final boss fight is challenging, but I mean, even for the fact that it has a final boss fight, kind of sets it apart from a lot of games that are similar.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
cool. I mean, I like survival games to an extent, but yeah, I lose interest after doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. The only time the sandbox ones are fun is if you have like a comically large group of friends to play with.
Yeah.
And then you can bully them.
Yeah, we always had a lot of fun, myself and Modem and his girlfriend and our friend Spooter. And it was just always a ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what they're going to do with that. I was absolutely not expecting that announcement.
So Son of the Forest, the sequel to Son of the Mask? Or is it just sequel to Son of the Forest?
Son of Mask.
It's actually the sequel to Forrest Gump.
Oh, fuck.
It's
Okay.
about his son.
Got it. All right.
It's called Gump.
Son of the Gump.
Son of the Gump. Gumping around.
We also...
His mom died of AIDS, and I lost him in the forest.
He's not a very bright kid.
We also saw
The forest is made up of 3 trees.
What tree is he hiding behind?
It's just the local city park.
Father, I've been here for 73 days.
Why didn't you come find me, Father?
I don't think I will make it out alive at this rate.
I am tired of eating pigeons.
Send rations.
In the background, you should see fast food places and cars driving down the street.
But he's got his head stuck in a box. So he can only see out just like this much. And so all he sees is
Screaming.
the VR. It's just well, we just pitched a game.
Anyway,
So if there's a studio out there listening, we will sell the rights to that game to you.
we also saw the ridiculous obelisk that is the Xbox Series X.
Oh,
The Xbox
meme.
Time Cube.
Xbox Time.
Oh my God.
Cube, yeah. It looks like if Microsoft made an Amazon peripheral.
It looks like it's just a PC.
It does look
we
like
were
a PC.
already, when the Xbox hit the market, it was already the system that blurred the lines between PCs and gaming consoles because it had an Intel processor, it had an NVIDIA video card, people could build the equivalent.
Yeah.
The only thing that made it like gaming systems. I remember when the PlayStation 2 was regarded as a national security threat, and you were not allowed to export it to certain countries because of the way it did computations.
Jesus.
Really?
And it's because Sony was having all those chips custom built. They're in those, fucking PlayStation 3 and before. Like, it was the cell processor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a coordinated effort, between Sony and IBM, I think, made them. Made the CPU chip anyway, to make something that was tailored to the type of instructions that that gaming would require, and only gaming. That's how you get decent performance and low power out of these things. And then Xbox comes along and like, here's an Intel computer
In a slightly different box.
Yeah.
I've already seen a meme for the new Xbox, and it was I was thinking, I saw it, I was like, man, this looks dumb, right? And I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I see it in like the hard drive.
Yeah.
And it's just like, of course, the first thing someone makes is a fucking 911 one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2 of those. And I'm like, oh.
The thing that annoys me is that it looks pretty tall, and where am I gonna where would I put it? Where would I
be
put
happy to know it does work in horizontal orientation.
Okay, that's
well.
good. still fucking weird.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the first things I thought of. This won't fit in my large, oversized entertainment center I bought in 2000.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's of course we have yet to see the final hardware for the PS5 either. It may be equally as dumb.
Maybe we'll get that.
What's the most like
monstrosity.
cumbersome shape, like three-dimensional shape you can?
Octagon. Or like a polyhedron.
Yeah, right.
A pentagonal polyhedron.
Yeah.
That'll be the new one that
Yeah.
comes out.
No, it's like
That'll be the new Nintendo.
No, dude, it'll be even
the Nintendo Game Sphere.
I was gonna say
The
it's
most
like
cumbersome
South
way would be
Park.
to make it a sphere but have no base.
Yes.
Yes. Just rest it like this.
With wired controllers.
Yeah.
The old ball and chain.
Get pissed off at the get pissed off at it, you throw the controller and the console just
You
comes
just
with it.
eat the whole console.
And it rolls off the entertainment center shelf, and all of a sudden you just start hearing the Breakfast Machine music from Pee Wee Herman as it starts this chain of events.
You're playing a game. You're like the final boss, and you're like, "Oh, thank God!" And you're just like, "Yes!" And you throw it down, and then it rolls off the stand and just
Shatters like it's made out of porcelain.
Exactly. It's not only is it a sphere, it's a glass sphere.
no, it's a glass sphere, but with Nerf controllers.
Oh my god.
Nintendo, this design is for sale.
You can't grab it too hard because it'll squish the controller.
I like this.
In those real white knuckle gaming sessions, it just gets soaked with sweat. The next person picks up to game later, they have to wring out the controller.
And the controllers only come in white.
So they get
So they look dirty
That
like
way-
the second week you have
That way
it.
you can leave your Cheeto stains all over it.
This is the most
and they're
cursed
slightly
console.
absorbent, so like those Cheeto stains just like get into the fiber of the
Within a week, it's an orange controller.
And it doesn't have any HDMI outs. It's only fucking a direct RCA input.
Yeah, that would be inconvenient. I don't even think my TV has RCAs anymore.
Mine does, actually.
My entertainment system, my receiver might have RCAs, but even that I'm not sure at this point.
Yeah. RCAs are a dying thing.
Yup.
Well, speaking of things that are dead and now coming back to life, besides the game sphere, I was reading. I was reading that the Telltale, like Batman, the Telltale series, is getting a re-release by its holding company.
A re-release.
Yeah, they're doing not only a re-release, but they're adding new DLC to it.
Was Batman one of the ones that if you had bought on when through Steam or whatever the original Telltale release, it got removed from your library? Because I know a handful of the Telltale games got actually
think
removed
so.
from people's libraries.
I think it might be the case. But apparently the DLC is a new skin over the game. It's like a new war kind of deal.
Every time you hear about that, friendly reminder, everybody, you don't own games, you license them.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, it's only recently that they've been able to revoke that license, as opposed to when we were all buying physical media, where we were still buying a license.
But that's the
but
danger,
you
though.
couldn't revoke that license.
Now that they can revoke it whenever they want,
That's so stupid.
it's scary.
A little bit.
Agree.
Yep.
Yeah. Telltale's also doing Wolf Among Us 2.
Yep.
Interesting. I did not play the first Wolf Among Us. I started playing it, and it was really good.
Or like
Experience.
selecting options on your DVD
I
menu.
enjoy those Telltale games. I think they're pretty good. Specifically, the Back to the Future games were amazing.
That's the one that
I'm not saying they're bad.
I like
Just
the
saying,
Game of Thrones
play.
one a lot.
You're stretching it.
The Game of Thrones one was a lot of fun,
The
actually.
Borderlands one seemed like it was pretty funny too.
The Borderlands one was very good.
My biggest issue with Telltale games was all of the games had the exact same bugs and the exact same issues. They never really upgraded anything the entire time. Like,
That's because the fucking CEO was taking all of our money and shoving it up his nose or whatever the fuck he was
right.
doing to waste his money and not hold up a company that was otherwise financially successful.
that's right.
Hell yeah, dude. Ruin your company with your cocaine addiction.
Had absolutely no business going under.
Is that what happened?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no clue. But I mean,
But I hear shoving money up your nose, and all I can think of is cocaine.
Yeah, that was what I thought too. But
That's what I was.
sure.
That's what,
hoping
that's
so.
what I was referencing.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was, alluding to.
If you
However,
take that literally, that'd be just weird.
It's very expensive to wipe my nose and ass with these $100 bills.
considering, that might actually get you high, considering the statistic of how
Not
many
enough cocaine. That
how
is not
many
enough.
of those bills have actually come in contact with cocaine.
It depends on how much you put up.
How
your
many?
nose.
Yeah, and where
You would die of something else before you would get high on cocaine. Probably suffocation.
Just one nostril. I live on one nostril anyway.
I mean, look, most drugs function by or a lot of drugs function by altering the amount of oxygen getting to your brain.
True. So, yeah, just choke yourself to death.
the only kind of altering that I like is Altered Beast.
Oh my God. If we become the source of one of those Channel 10 news teens are doing in the new drug stories, I would be so proud of us.
Kids are pooping into jars.
I love it so much.
I kind of would. If anyone's that stupid, like, natural selection just has its way, you know?
There's a new drug in town called Schneef.
New drug in town called Crunch.
And you won't believe what kids are doing with it.
A new street drug called Crimbus Day.
But yeah, I thought that the Telltale games were selling successfully enough.
Yeah.
Like that had to have been mismanagement of money somewhere.
Kind of like Forever
Especially-
21.
Especially considering the only overhead they had on those games was just artwork and writing. Like they just copied and pasted the engine and everything.
I love those Sam and Max ones too.
The Sam and Max one's
were-
really good.
I think the Sam and Max ones were the first ones I paid attention to. And
I think that may have been the
they
first
were the-
ones that they did.
oh well,
I
They
think
were. It was either Sam and Max or Walking Dead.
it was definitely not Walking Dead.
Walking Dead was earlier. Or
It was
early, though.
definitely not Walking
Okay.
Dead. Because before Walking Dead, they also did Bone. They also did Strong Bad. They also did Back to the Future was before Walking Dead, if I
Was
recall
it?
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking Dead was later in Telltale's timeline.
Okay.
I remember.
They also did the Penny Arcade games, Rain Slick on the Precipice of Darkness, well before all that as well.
My memory of when those games came out is vastly different than yours.
They are games.
I guess
They are
it's because I kind of went back and played them. I wasn't playing them as they were coming out.
Yeah, I remember paying attention to all the releases and stuff. But yeah, I know Borderlands was after, Game of Thrones was after.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is fairly...
So was Wolf Among Us, I think, was after Walking Dead.
Yes.
But yeah.
Wolf Among Us came out in like 2011.
I am happy that the holdings company is doing something with the IP. I think that's cool because, and hopefully it retains the same, quality or improves the framework that was already laid out by Telltale.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people are going to buy that game twice now.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
I'm sure there's going to be
Suckers.
quite a number of people that are going to buy it. I didn't buy it in the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
neither
I got it. It was a free game. The Batman game was a free one on
PS4.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's a bummer that Telltale shuttered because.
Yep.
And speaking of companies that are shuttering, apparently the animation company that fixed the Sonic stuff went under.
Wasn't the whole company, it was just the studio.
That studio.
But they still have another successful studio in the same country that's like flourishing.
Yeah.
So the company itself isn't in as much danger as everyone thinks it is.
No. I'm more annoyed, irritated at the fact that
So in that the branch of this company, the studio that fixed
Yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah, the specific studio, not the whole company. Just the studio is going under.
I feel kind of bad about that.
Yeah, because they actually went out. And,
well, and the only reason why they stopped is because Vancouver stopped giving them tax break. Movie stuff.
Yep.
Really?
Yep, that's the only reason why.
That's surprising. Vancouver is the most movie-friendly city in the country.
Yeah, it looks like every place.
In the continent, rather.
Yeah, it looks like every place.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of TV shows that shoot up there, and You can kind of tell after a while. Like a lot of X-Files was filmed up there
Yep.
back in the day.
A lot of the the Marvel movies and
Yep.
TV shows
Yep.
are filmed
Yep.
there too. Which, that blew my mind. I had no idea.
And Atlanta.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
There's something funny about a show called Atlanta being filmed in Vancouver.
Oh, no. Filming in Atlanta.
Oh.
Not Atlanta, the show, filming in Vancouver.
Oh. Okay.
Wow.
That's what. No, I thought the same thing he did. Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
What?
Atlanta is also one of the most movie-friendly and filming-friendly cities in the continent.
Okay.
So, like, if you're filming a TV series or a film, at least part of that is going to be in either Atlanta or Vancouver or both.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Makes sense, but yeah, I guess Vancouver has revoked some of those sweet tax breaks. It's a bummer that so many people had to lose their jobs just because a company decided that because they weren't going to make as much money doing something.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's because of the whole Sonic thing.
It's not.
No, it's not
Okay.
because of the Sonic redesign.
Okay, good.
They've done lots of successful work prior to that. They worked on a lot of stuff. I saw the list. It was interesting. Kind of a bummer.
But of course, because a bunch of the people who saw this online don't actually do anything more than read the headline,
Right.
They don't realize that it's not the Sonic movie, and they're like, oh, we should all feel so bad. It's being closed down because we made them redesign the Sonic movie. No, you fucking idiots. Read.
Wow.
Yeah.
Read!
Anyone who thinks that must think themselves.
They don't
very
read, they
important.
only read.
Exactly.
Read before re.
That should be a law.
Yeah.
Read before re clause.
Well, one of my favorite things that some websites do is before you're allowed to leave a comment, they ask you a question about the story that you just read.
Ooh, nice.
I like that quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Reading comprehension questions is bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, school wasn't enough for you people, so you need to be asked reading comprehension things for the rest of your fucking lives.
That should be how Facebook sharing operates.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Answer these simple questions.
Did you read the article?
Was this article satire? I don't know what satire means.
Banned.
Satire is a code word for liberal garbage.
Account just gets deleted.
and then the Zuck clones come in and personally kick you in the ass.
You got zucked.
Oh man.
You got zucked. That sounds unpleasant.
It's the punished form of suck.
Life sucks, bro.
Zuck my dick.
Kick.
Kiki.
No, the difference is, oh, she sucked me, bro, and oh, bro, she sucked me, dude. Oh no,
Dude, you should go see a doctor, man. It hurts when I zuck.
Oh, you're going to have to inform your previous online friends.
You've been zucked, man.
Hey, Cindy, yeah, I know we hooked up a couple of months ago, but I just want to let you know that I went to the doctor and he said that I got zucked. And maybe you should go get checked out too.
Look, I know you unfriended me a while back, but, maybe you should get checked out because I just found out that I was
Sucked all over my mom's couch.
At least she covers it in plastic.
Well, that was fun.
the couch will be fine, but the memories never leave.
Oh, man.
Got PTSD from us all zucking.
So, you know what? Speaking of that fucking Zucks, last week, as we were broadcasting, news came out that the actor who played Odo died.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Deep Space Nine is my least favorite of the Star Trek shows.
But Odo was at least a very
Yeah, he was
interesting
good.
character.
He was good, and like I've gone back and I've watched some more of the show, and I understand why I didn't like it when I was a kid because it's a little more complex than more space politicsy than fly in that direction and let's go discover a planet or blow it up, like TOS. But
It was the episode 3 of the Star Wars, of the Star Trek universe.
not for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died this week.
He was pretty old though. 79.
Yeah, that's not very old these days, though.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty old.
Depends on what country you're
You're
from.
living on borrowed time when you hit late 70s, I feel.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's
Dude,
also a
you
weird
don't
thing.
say.
Like I often hear that once you make it past 50, it's actually you're more likely to keep going. Like a lot of people die before they hit 50, and if you make it to 50, you're usually pretty good.
Yeah.
true.
Well, I'm almost there.
Shut the fuck up.
Almost to that midway
Home
point.
stretch. You're rounding the corner.
Yeah. Honestly, if you think about it, like 13 years is not a long time.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're almost 50. I'm 37, bro. I'm almost 50.
I would never say it in that way. Gazun. Oh, my Lord. Are you John Popper now? Are you playing the harmonica?
I mean, I do play the harmonica very well, but
bad.
gonna blow my nose all over this cat.
I would never say in that way. Like, I'm almost 50, but I'm closer to 50 than I am 20.
Yeah, for sure. But you're not almost 50.
Why would you want to
No.
go back to 20? Jesus, that's a terrible year.
Yeah. 1920s were pretty bad.
Also, just being 20 sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would go back to 20.
That's
If I
more
could
what
keep
I was
all of my
referencing.
memories right now,
Okay, but that's
I'd
not
go
the
back to 20 and then start
Then
betting on
everyone
all
would
of it.
do that. But
Yeah.
yes, no.
Yeah.
That's not the point, okay?
you can't fucking Biff Tannen this shit.
I'm Biff Tannen the shit out of
You
this.
can't Biff Tannen this shit.
Here, kid, take this almanac.
I'm gonna break my cane off in this car.
God, fucking Biff Trump.
Oh my god, he totally
Still
is.
Yeah, no,
that was the reason.
point.
That was-
Like,
yeah.
they actually modeled him after Donald Trump.
Did they really?
Yes.
I actually did not know
That
that.
was a conscious
intentional.
decision.
That's how
yeah.
we know we're living in the Back to the Future 2 timeline.
Yep.
I bet you think George
Really
George
sucks.
McFly went on to have a successful writing career, didn't you?
It's only a matter of time before we have like big neon lights on the White House.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he hasn't painted it gold already.
Yeah, right.
or has a strip club somewhere in it.
Yeah. We're just going to turn the White House into a brothel.
He probably does have a strip club somewhere in it.
It's just him.
Oh no.
No, that sounds
No,
terrible.
that's horrible. Why would you put
Even
that
he
image in
doesn't
my
want
head?
that.
It's all strippers, but they're wearing the plastic, like, Donald Trump masks.
No.
Gross.
No.
Or they just have really bad blonde toupees.
They all have bad comb overs.
They're all orange.
Spray tanned orange.
I read some article that said someone figured out the concealer that he might be using.
Really?
it's like based on the shade and shit like that. And I was like, guys, he's almost out. Like, you're a little late on this.
Is he though?
Oh God, I hope so.
Is
I'm
he
just
though?
saying, Boris Johnson just won the election in
Yeah.
the UK. The world's not as leaning left as we might have hoped.
Politics,
it is.
though.
It is because the Tories didn't receive majority vote.
Oh, they didn't? I thought they did.
No.
Okay.
If you add up all of the left parties, they
okay.
have more against Boris Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, this reminds me, I don't remember if we brought this up, but a lot of people were trying to turn the Untitled Goose into a right-wing symbol.
Are you
And-
serious?
Yeah,
Why?
and then the people who made the game said, like, fuck you, vote Labor. Like, yeah, they officially just released that, like, no, you can try and do whatever you want, because that's not happening. Vote Labor.
Why would they look at the...
Because people on the internet, like, there's a lot of people on the internet who take, like, you've seen it, they take, like, internet memes and popular things that
Pepe
people love
is
using, and they make
The
a conscious
example.
decision to try and turn it into, like, a right-wing symbol to get it banned, and they can keep doing it because people keep falling for it.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yup.
Yeah, and then that's how we lost Pepe.
Even though the creator of Pepe came out and said, like, no, dude, that's not why it was created. I was like, no, we don't care. Racist.
Yep.
Like,
Well,
you can't even make the fucking okay hand anymore. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't because
That one annoys
which
me.
really annoys me as a musician, because the way you communicate
the sound guy.
With the sound guy. Okay, look, I need up in my monitor, down in my monitor. That's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pixel these out.
Yeah, right. Because if I give a thumbs up for that's okay, he's just going to turn up the monitor.
Yeah.
Now you have to do the sideways.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
For all those British people out there that were so smug about Donald Trump got elected in America, blah blah blah. That'll never happen.
Well, they've been
here.
battling this fight for a long time, and we could actually learn something from what happened in the UK right now, because Boris Johnson went almost exclusively on a platform of exhaustion of holding out the Brexit. So his thing was, look, if I am elected, this ends. If the Liberal Democrats or Labor or Social Democrats or Labor or whomever wins, then we're just going to keep, battling this out forever. So he was specifically campaigning with people's exhaustion with Brexit in mind. Which is smart.
Yeah,
and I imagine that Donald Trump will probably, especially depending on what ends up happening with this impeachment, he'll end up using that as a campaign platform.
Gross.
Yep.
The world is great.
Boris Johnson, make Britain bland again.
But at the same time, I find it funny because everyone, calls Boris Johnson the Trump of the UK, but
I think he's still more qualified to be a leader than Donald Trump is.
Right, because then we see the hot mic incident where it's him and Trudeau and Macron laughing at Donald Trump. So
yeah.
Even Boris Johnson isn't low enough on the hateable totem as to be excluded by Trudeau or Macron, and cooperates with them and is at least seen as a peer in leadership in the global scape.
Great when you read all about a lot of his history. He's done some scummy shit in the past. He's kind of trash.
Yep.
But he's British trash, so it makes him better than American trash.
He's British trash, and he's intentionally executed trash, whereas Donald Trump is just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, he's building an image that makes him look the way he is. He specifically does the crazy shit for that reason, and but he knows what he's doing.
Yep. This politics minute.
And now back to the Playmobil film.
Oh my god, I can't believe they're making a Playmobil film.
No, they've already made it. It released, it bombed.
What? It's out? Okay, we need to see this.
I'm not going to pay to see it.
We need to see this movie.
Playmobil is fucking trash.
Playmobil toys were great.
No, they weren't. They were
loved
terrible.
them.
They were not compatible with the Lego system.
I'm still waiting on my Mega Bloks movie.
Still waiting on my Roblox anime.
I want my Duplo anime.
Duplo.
I did.
I think there was a Duplo movie.
There was a Duplo claymation film.
I want my Brio film. Anyone?
No, sorry.
Brio?
Yeah, I'm not biting, but I know.
Sorry,
I know
I'm not
is.
almost 50. Okay.
Where's my Lincoln Logs film?
They're all wood train sets. And for little kids,
I remember that.
It's puzzle piece train.
I remember
train
those.
tracks,
I
and it's
remember
all
those.
wood.
I played with those in dentist's office all the time.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I never saw him in person.
I used to have big tubs of them when I was a kid.
Allow me to be a toy train pedant for a second, because I eschewed that in favor of real Lionel train sets when I was.
My family couldn't afford the nice.
Neither could mine, but my granddad just had a bunch. He found stuff all the time, much like me, I guess. But I just had so much of this fucking train shit that I didn't know what to do with, because it's it's this train, it goes around, and so I'd end up just making insane fucking tracks and trying to make Rube Goldberg machines and stuff with it.
Nice.
Instead. Yeah, because
I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Unless you have a Brio set, and then you basically just push a wooden train on
This
a
is
wooden track.
fun.
Imagination.
Yeah.
Look, it's like our country. It's going off the rails.
This social commentary brought to you by.
The Multi-Brooks.
Do you think we could get Brio to sponsor us? This is probably the most Brio's been talked about in a decade.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to the Topless Robot Connects XX Hour.
Jesus.
Oh, God, no.
We should reach out to random stupid brands that haven't been a thing forever and just ask them if they can sponsor us. It's like,
Wait, Connects XX, don't you mean erector sets?
That's for girls.
Jesus. This is a bit of a small thing because we haven't seen much of it. Axiom Verge 2 got announced,
Yes.
and they gave a very brief little trailer of the new character walking around through some of the new environments. And I can't fucking wait!
Yeah, very excited for that.
I don't think I'm familiar with the Axiom
I'm not
stuff.
I recently started, I had started playing Axiom Verge a long time ago, and
Finish
in
it.
typical Ryan fashion, I didn't go back to it. So I recently bought it on Switch, which will guarantee that I'll play it more.
I can never remember which area of the game it is, but one of them has this really warped, like backward sounding soundtrack. Ah, it's so fucking good. That whole game just, it's so good.
I've said it many times before. Metroidvanias are absolutely my favorite type of video game.
I'm not usually huge into them. Like, I don't know why I liked Axiom Verge so much. I think it was the darker aesthetic to it. It had that really weird soundtrack, and it wasn't anywhere near as like labyrinthian as like Metroid to me.
Sure.
Second Labyrinthians 317.
Oh God.
No.
I recently picked up. Actually, by recently I mean like last night. Picked up Trover Saves the Universe
Oh, how is
because
that?
it came out on Switch.
Mm,
And I had decided, most of my VR, like the optimal setup for playing that game in VR, I don't have set up right now. Like I've got my Oculus and I've got the PSVR, but PSVR is on visual fidelity, and my Oculus is all kind of packed up. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy it on Switch. And the way that they have you move, like their reasoning for VR movement in that game is amazing.
Great. That game looked like it was going to be hilarious.
You are a Charinthian or something like that, where your entire race of people just sits in chairs.
oh, so like Wally.
And so someone, Trover, like basically the premise is your dogs have been taken to be used as eyes by some monster, and you're being blamed because they're your dogs. So your entire planet hates you for bringing rise to
This
this
sounds
being because it took your
incredible.
dogs and used them as eyes.
That's great.
And so Trover shows up at your front door, and he can walk around. He's got legs. And he takes out one of his eyes and gives it to you, one of his babies. He pulls it out of his eye sockets and gives it to you, and it connects to your controller. So at the bottom of the screen, you always see you're always holding a controller, and it mimics the movements that you make on your actual controller.
Oh, that's cool.
And so once he gives you his eye baby, you control him. And so the way you move around is by making him walk to the next teleportation pad to teleport you to that pad.
See,
It sounds
with the
weird.
current limitations of VR, this is what people have to do to make their games really good.
And
You got to lean into it.
It's so just incredibly clever.
That's good.
Incredibly
Embrace the
clever.
limitations of the hardware.
Yeah.
I want to try this. This sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And of course I knew it would be. It would have to be. Like, it's Squanch Games.
Squanch Games, yeah.
Watch.
Which was originally called
Squanch
Squanch
Tendo.
Tendo. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention when we mentioned Untitled Goose Game in our little rant that's being released on PS4 this.
Yep.
I'm very excited.
Yay.
It is A very fun
I can't
game.
wait to get up to some trouble.
Can't wait to honk at people.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I can't wait to make people go crazy because I won't leave them alone.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Just like real life.
It is a very fun game.
Cat gives no fucks.
Trying to think of what else is coming out. Did I talk? I talked about Darksiders Genesis last week, didn't
Yeah.
Yes.
I? Okay, I thought so.
Very professional of us. We don't even know where we are.
Ghost of Tsushima had their new trailer, and it has a release date now, or release window, summer 2020.
That's cool.
So, and that new trailer was sick.
How much more did
I
they
don't
show,
doubt
like,
it.
combat-wise or anything? Like
It was a little bit more. They showed a little bit,
a story trailer?
but it was more story trailer.
Yeah,
and the story looked cool.
I feel like I'm going to be more interested in the trailers that start getting released closer to
Yes.
release time, because then we're actually going to start
get to actually
seeing
see
more real gameplay footage.
Yep.
Because
They did show-
obviously what we saw at E3 2 years ago was not gameplay footage.
No,
there's
that was-
no way.
That was just a hype trailer. That's all
but
that
it
was.
was
Cool.
it was very cool. They set expectations high. They're going to underdeliver, but I'm still hopeful.
They did show a little bit of like you move like you on a horse, and it's open world and going through different environments. So, like there's going through like a field, going through like
No
rocky
Man's
area,
Samurai.
and it looked really cool. It was beautiful, and it looked like in-game engine. And obviously with The Witcher 3 and how the games always end up looking nicer in trailers than they do when
Yeah.
they come out. But like the gameplay that you do see in it was just as impressive looking as but it's all chopped together with more cinematics.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be real interested in seeing if they can pull off like the type of experience that they're selling. Like how much of that final experience is going to differ from what like we all kind of have in our heads after what they've shown us so far.
We'll see.
One of those games that I was not
It will
expecting
never be as
at all.
cool
It
as
looked
I
so cool.
want to be.
No, there's never been a single game that like every time you hype a game up, it never delivers what it promises.
Because I mean,
Literally never.
Imagine that when it comes out, it just turns out that it's like Red Dead Samurai. You know, like
I mean, that'd be okay. Okay, being I'll buy it when it's like $10.
Yeah.
Which will be never because I'll forget about it. But there's always that chance, where it's what if it's better than what it looks like,
Yeah.
Was there a game like that? Like I'm trying to think of a game where you saw the trailer, everyone's hyped, and it came out, and it was just like, yeah, it's just as good as it looked like in the trailer.
I mean, honestly, like
RE2?
I think Sekiro is a modern example of that because everyone was fucking hyped for that, and I heard nobody say like, "Hey, it underdelivered."
Yeah,
because
that's true.
From Software does, unless they do an opening cinematic, every cutscene, if there even is one, it's in-game engine.
Yeah.
So like what you see is what you get from Software games every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like sets the expectations at a very reasonable level because they're like, yo, we know you're not here for the cinematics. You're here for the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
You get to watch him get cut in half by a million monsters.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Last of Us was another one of those when the first trailer hit. for
yeah, I
that,
don't
everyone
remember
was
people
super
complaining
in-
about Last of Us all that much.
won like every best of the year,
Okay.
best game of the year.
But I was going to say Resident Evil 2, but everyone bitched about the fucking designs and shit of what's his face.
Mr. X,
Yeah, Mr. X.
the tyrant.
That was cool. and I
Resident
don't
Evil
care what
2
it looks
is supposed to be getting an update, though, that is going to allude to Resident Evil 3 now.
Oh, like an add-on.
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Wonderful, because I've been jamming through that.
X is gonna give it to
So
us.
good.
I've been jamming through RE2 and Yakuza this week.
Is this new bit of DLC going to be focused solely around Hunk, I hope? Yeah, I know who Hunk is?
Hunk.
Hunk, the piece
Yeah.
of tofu.
Yeah.
No.
You never knew about that bonus character?
He's one of the bonus scenarios in RE2 where you play as a block of tofu
Yeah.
with a beret.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm not completely
What?
And the zombies take bites out of you and like you start like missing chunks of the tofu when you're near death. How have you guys never heard of
I
Hunk?
have never heard of this. This is amazing.
Oh man, I have something to look forward to. I love that.
Did Hunk make it into the remake?
Yeah, and
Okay.
he's extra jiggly in the new one.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I bought I bought some version of the game on the PSN store that came with a bunch of extra,
Oh, cool.
like a Game of the Year version or whatever.
Sure.
And it's one of the skins that I love playing in is they have the old like Polygon like 1998 outfit or like costume for Leon,
yeah.
so he looks all shitty and stuff.
Yep.
And I love having him in all the cutscenes because everything else looks super good. And
Right.
It's just
Yep. They did the same thing in the most recent Tomb Raider. You can go back to like Angel of Darkness skins or the original Tomb Raider skin. So she's all, polygons on this beautiful backdrop.
I know that Fortnite has made T-posing like its own dumb thing, but actually playing an old game and seeing an old model render and just T-pose in the middle of a cutscene, that will always make me laugh.
Mario Odyssey also had the classic Super Mario 64 skin where you're like,
that was pretty great.
polygony. I love that.
So I know we talked a bit about the cover of Resident Evil 3 leaking last week.
the Nemesis that everyone's all mad about.
Yeah, and now we actually, so that it seems forced Capcom's hand to release a trailer ahead of schedule. So we did get a trailer in this past week.
I haven't seen it yet.
And we got a trailer proper and that multiplayer experience that they were talking about that they revealed a few months back is going to come with Resident Evil 3. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. It's got some name, but
Resident Evil Dark something.
yeah, I have no idea. But from what I could tell, it seems like a Left 4 Dead-y kind of thing, except done Resident Evil style. And on that note, Left 4 Dead is rumored to be coming out with a new entry into that series.
Left 5 Dead.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's a leak,
What?
so we don't know for sure. It's not. It's not official word,
Right.
But
That's my favorite.
But I mean, I guess it wouldn't. This would be the time for me to not be surprised with Half-Life Alyx being announced too. Like,
Yeah.
maybe they're going to
The
do
old gods are returning.
little
Left
bit
4
of
Dead
development
is
for us.
easily my favorite zombie game of all time.
Is that team? That team's not Valve official. That it's Turtle Rock or whatever the
Well,
fuck.
yeah, but I mean, they're still at least using their properties for something, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like maybe Valve won't actually develop the new Left 4 Dead thing if it happens either. But if they let someone else make Left 4 Dead, at least it's not just sitting in limbo forever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'd be totally fine with Valve just strictly becoming a publisher.
Yeah.
And licensing their internal IP to third party developers that they trust and forge partnerships with.
I think the only recent thing I've seen that used Left 4 Dead is like Bill is in Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
He's one of the survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
How many
Yeah,
how many
it's
Left 4 Dead games are there? I never actually got into it.
There are two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on, it's Valve.
We got Left 4 Dead
Yeah.
1, Left 4 Dead 2, and the upcoming sequel, Left 2 Dead for Me.
Valve Kid Couch
And
3.
then Left 5 Dead. left V Dead.
Dude, that reminds me. What?
It's a VR game.
Oh,
Oh.
Oof.
I thought you were about
Yeah,
to tell me
that all this talking.
that all this talking was dead. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's what I-
the fear in me, my heart rate just jumped up.
Supposedly. So this is from 3 days ago on Yahoo News. Co-op zombie survival franchise Left 4 Dead could be coming back as a virtual reality project, but there's no assurance the game will see the light of day. Left 4 Dead VR is real, according to Tyler McVicker, whose Valve News Network has become an essential stop off for many fans of the often mysterious game development company and its multiple franchises. Valve Corporation owns and operates a Steam store. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, stuff that we know.
Yeah, don't care.
not
So
care.
it seems, I guess, maybe it's going to be a VR Left 4 Dead.
I like that VR is getting more support as we are going along, but God, I don't have one, and I want to play a regular Left 4 Dead game. God damn it!
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Well, maybe one of these days, gentlemen, I'll have to introduce you to Left 4 Drunk, which is it's a game that me and my friends made up like 5 years ago. And you have to, before you get to the next safe room, you have to at least finish one beer.
Fuck, dude, Left 4 Dead 2 was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Anytime you are being actively like held or restrained by a special, you have to continue drinking until your friends save you.
I love this.
There's a lot of other rules to it, but like it gets you drunk fast.
We should play that. and then
For drunk.
apparently there was a crossover event in October with Dying Light,
Okay.
which I didn't know about. Dying Light was a fucking great game.
I know like nothing about Dying Light.
Yeah.
I know it's a game.
Parkour zombies.
I saw the trailers and they always look cool, but I never followed
Not
up.
as
on
in
wait,
the zombies
wait.
parkour, but you parkour
Right.
around.
Oh, I talking about.
And there's zombies, and you like have to play politics and stuff, and
Yeah, you have
it's
to
very
do
very
survivors.
It
And
looked cool. I
And
remember
Dying
the
Light
trailer.
2 is supposed to be really awesome because this, and I know we've been promised this and gotten it to varying degrees of disappointment before, but the decisions, the decisions impact the world around you.
I've heard that a million times.
I am always worried about a game secretly being like that, especially ones that kind of let you, choose dialogue options.
Yeah.
I've been suspicious.
Clementine will remember that.
Yeah, it's like,
Yes.
exactly.
Clementine.
But like,
My
I'm always
darling.
worried, which is why any playthrough where I have multiple dialogue options, I always am a nice guy the first time I play. It's just like, I don't want the bad ending this time. I'm going to go out of my way. Like in Yakuza, like all I'm doing is fucking helping people out and being nice to people. And because I'm worried about being a dick.
I found out I was a nice person because whenever I play those games where you have the ability to go and be an asshole, I start being an asshole at the beginning, and then I'm just like, I feel really guilty about it. Maybe for the first hour of the game, I'm like, I'm gonna be an asshole today, asshole. Oh,
What option?
oh, now I
Fuck
feel
you.
really bad, and then I start being a good guy.
Fuck you, asshole.
I think that comes around because a lot of those games take the bad decisions way too far.
Yeah.
So when you do those, they're overriding them to make you out to be like literal Hitler in whatever game
true.
you're playing. But like Mass Effect 2 did the Renegade thing really well. Like when you were playing Shepard in Mass Effect 2, the Renegade options were they were badass Shepard instead of like actual Hitler Shepard, which we got in
select
in Mass Effect 3 when you did the Renegade options. You were space genocide, but in 2 it was written really well. In 3 the Renegade path was bad, and that's how most games write bad options, is just like how Mass Effect 3 did it.
You're Space Hitler.
Yeah, you're just the world's biggest piece of shit.
You are Joseph Space Stalin.
I think the worst thing I ever did in a game was in the Elder Scrolls series. Save, murder entire village. Reload.
Like sometimes you just have to
Get it out.
Yeah.
Look, man, anytime someone asks me if I've been to the Cloud District, they get cut in half.
It's a hard and fast rule.
to the Cloud District? Oh, God!
Oh, what am I saying? Of course you haven't.
Yeah.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
No. Don't even speak those words.
Yeah.
And then arrows.
Then I took a knee to my arrows.
Then I tried to knee kick someone's arrow.
It didn't go out very well. Isn't Bethesda a great company?
No.
They're
They're
just
bad and people
great.
should stop giving them money.
Christ.
Speaking of literal Hitler, Todd
Yeah.
Howard. Come on down.
I mean, Todd Howard is not
No, he's
Bethesda. He's just the representation of Bethesda.
He is the evil incarnate.
Whatever.
You have to beat him into his final form in order to get to the real Bethesda.
Mecha
Being the avatar of sin doesn't mean you're not sinful, okay?
I mean, Hitler wasn't the Nazi party, but he damn sure was the figurehead.
It was the avatar.
Stop giving them money in so they can put the Poe in Pogrom.
So I watched Six Underground today, which is that Ryan Reynolds movie that popped up on Netflix.
The one where he's buried
Is that Michael
alive?
Bay? It's Michael Bay, right?
That's a great movie. The one where he's buried alive. That's very cool.
That's 600 grams
This-
Michael Bay, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't know it until the end of the movie, like when it said Michael Bay, and then I went, "Oh, that makes sense," because it's fucking garbage.
Is it bad? I heard it's terrible. I've heard it's really bad.
It's horrible.
What's the premise?
They're like, it's almost like
There's 6 of them.
it's
When they're underground.
And they're underground. Yeah.
It's-
Wait, is it the Twilight? Is it basically the Twilight Zone episode where they have to try to decide who gets to stay in the fallout shelter? Oh,
It is an over-the-top spy movie, but filmed like or rather written like it's a heist movie.
I always like heist movies.
It's
like
terrible.
this.
It's terrible.
I like
It's
heist
horrible.
movies and I like spy movies, but I don't know about a spiced movie.
Spiced Girls.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I feel bad because I love Ryan Reynolds. And the only reason I watched it is because I will watch literally anything with Ryan Reynolds.
Did
He's
you at least
allowed
get
to
some
have some
Ryan Reynolds
stinkers.
like goodness to it? Like, was there at least something?
A little,
Okay.
sure. I mean, he's a charming, funny guy. And so there are certainly some moments, but fuck, that movie was miserable.
I heard it's not good, and it's
so-
Michael Bay, so you can pretty much.
Was there explosions and poopy sex jokes?
The general premise is
Bad lens
that
flares.
Ryan Reynolds' character is a rich CEO who invented neodymium magnets. And so he's a billionaire. And he was in some, third world country for a photo op with like Doctors Without Borders kind of thing. And while he's there, they get bombed with sarin gas. And so he watches people die and decides to kill himself by basically making people think that he had died, and then assemble a team of other people who he also, faked their deaths, so they had no identities. They are only referred to by their numbers. And they have different specialties, and he's the eccentric billionaire who's recruiting them all, but he also gets his hands dirty.
Is Ryan Reynolds, then is his number 69 or 420? Because that's Michael Bay film.
How many did I say?
We said 6, but you didn't
Exactly.
necessarily say they were in numeric order.
Yeah, no, it's in
They'll
numeric
just choose
order.
their numbers.
No, I'm 420. I'm 420.
I'm 3.14.
Honestly,
Shut up, Tyler.
like in the first 5 minutes, you can tell it's a Michael Bay film.
That was a very
Explosions.
Tyler thing to say. I'm 3.14, guys.
Yeah, thank you. 3.14, guys.
Oh,
You can do that
Christ.
so
Brian, do you
too
have
well,
books you can
dude.
hand them so we can dump them?
Yeah, we really need
That's
to knock,
like, it's so
knock his books out of his
deep.
hand. So yeah, don't see Six Underground, guys.
Don't worry, I wasn't gonna.
Really? What? Damn,
What?
not watching a movie? I would never have expected.
I think I saw it floating around, and I'm pretty sure I saw Ryan Reynolds' face on the front of it. But I'm glad you said something, because now I'll avoid it like hell.
Yeah, don't bother with it. Don't bother with
No
it.
bother.
After the podcast, I'll show you the first 5 minutes. That's all you
kinda
need
I
to
don't
see.
even need to see the first 5 minutes now, man.
Yeah, there's no number 420 in it. I don't want to fucking watch it.
Yeah, dude. No 420. No 69. No 3.14. No 42.
No 69.
Oh.
On the opposite end of the spectrum of so good Ryan Reynolds movies, have you seen The Voices?
Yeah, The Voices is awesome.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
And everyone needs to see it if they haven't seen that movie.
Yeah,
It is a
Ryan Reynolds and Anna Kendrick,
Yes? Yes.
and he talks to his dog and his cat.
Yeah, he's like insane. And it's.
Yeah. And he does the voices of both his dog and his cat as well. And they're great voices. Like, he is actually a very strong voice actor. Surprise, surprise. But it's an absolutely great movie.
It takes you by surprise. I was not expecting what route that movie went.
Yeah.
I was like,
very good.
it's going to be a funny Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. If you need to watch a Ryan Reynolds film, even The Hitman's Bodyguard would be a better option.
Hitman's
than
Bodyguard was
Six Underground.
surprisingly interesting. Not interesting, entertaining.
What else happened this week?
Did anything.
Quick, let's consult the standard reference chart to podcast.
We've got Star Wars coming out this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Star Wars.
I'm going to be seeing it. I'm kind
Not
of
a lot of care for me. I will stay in my television universe for Star Wars, I think.
It will be the last Star Wars film I see in theaters.
Because honestly, their series strategy has been drastically better than their film strategy.
Yes, it has. Because surprise, surprise, it's a lot easier to build a world when you have more time.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose.
But I'm fairly
They
excited.
don't need to build a world. The world's already there. They just need to write an intriguing story in it.
Right.
Fuck, man.
Use their characters the right way.
Yeah.
They have all these great characters that are interesting and have good backstories, and they just were like, nope.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see it. I'm seeing it Friday. I'm kind of excited. I'm more excited today too because I saw a fun news story where one of the characters from the from Rebels and Clone Wars may be making an appearance.
Really?
Yes, and it's one of the best characters.
Oh, George Lucas.
Yes. No, and it's
George Lucas with a
I
walkie-talkie
don't know
gun.
how they're going to do it, but yeah, it's. I know you guys don't really watch it, but Ahsoka may be making an appearance in some way, and I'm super. I know I went on my rant last week about how much I love Clone Wars and Rebels,
Yeah.
and this just like my interest went through the fucking roof when I saw this.
Ahsoka.
Right on.
I'm going to be starting it. Overwhelming. Good. But
It's so good.
It's weird cell shaded thing.
Yeah, the once you reach season 3 in Clone Wars, they got a lot more funding.
Yeah.
So the animation got a lot nicer and it looks a lot nicer.
I still think it looked good when it first came
Yeah,
out.
no, it
Like,
looked fine. But even still, also go all the way back to the original Clone Wars animated,
I
which
like the
was
Jindy Tartakovsky.
yeah.
I missed that art style, and I was
Yeah.
disappointed when they switched it over.
by the way, you tripped over that name really hard.
No, he said it right.
He didn't say the last name right at all.
Did he not?
No, it's like Churchkovsky.
Isn't it Tartakovsky?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenny Tartakovsky.
That's not how it sounded like you said it.
I said Jindy Tartakovsky. Now I fucking messed it up. You sons of bitches. I said it right the first time.
Say Jenny Tartakovsky 5 times fast.
Oh, that sucks.
Jenny Tartakovsky.
And on that note, thanks for watching and or listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
I'm taking off today at 3. Sometimes you have to sit if you want to make a stand. Hate to shit, taking liberties. Taking liberties.
Luke, it says I'm locked out of my account again.
Yeah, let me tell you something, brother. You load the podcast with the rocket fuel, and you start the mega powers, and you hit that subscribe button. Ooh, I'm not gonna rip my shirt because it's the only one I have right now. Subscribe.